गौरवै आएको हो
के हो यस्तो यो अनि यस्तो बेपत्ता भइदिने कहाँबाट यहाँ आएको.
In a small conference room at the back of the 4th floor of the model hospital in Kathmandu, Nepal, Dr. Saroj Dhital consults his patients. They come to him via webcams connected to village clinics throughout the Himalayas. The patients are each introduced by a local villager who Dr. Dhital calls Nepal's 21st century barefoot doctors. The concept derived from the village doctor program started in China after the founding of the People's Republic of China, when the country was desperately short of trained doctors. Young villagers were given basic medical training and sent back to their villages to set up clinics. The program was a great success and in 1968 rebranded as the Barefoot Doctors, the name deriving from Chinese southern farmers who tended their paddy fields without shoes. As a student in the early 1970s, Dhital came across a copy of a painting of a barefoot doctor in a Chinese magazine he bought in Kathmandu.
That painting, that oil painting, was illustrating a girl, a very young girl who was a barefoot doctor with a lantern in her hand, and a small boy who was, clutching her finger, and they were both walking, and you could see the raindrops there. That picture always attracted me, and I wanted to be a doctor.
Dhital succeeded in getting a scholarship to study medicine at Shanghai First Medical College, but it was not easy for him to persuade his family.
To go to China, I had to fight my father, who really didn't want to send me there. He thought that I would come back as a real red young person without learning anything about medicine. But for me, it was very, very exciting, and being a young student already in left politics, for me it was almost like a pilgrim. So I was very much excited being there and tried to understand everything that I saw there positively.
Arriving in 1973, Dhital found that China in his imagination was very different to the one he encountered in the midst of the Cultural Revolution.
I was just learning to play guitar then, before I went to China. And soon after reaching China, I tried to buy a guitar. I went to the market, and I was shocked to find that, they were not selling it. They were saying that this is a bourgeois instrument, and we don't sell it anymore.
Over the 18 years he spent training to be a surgeon, he saw immense change in the country he had adopted as a second home.
Altogether, it was 18 years of changing China. That's what I witnessed. In 1973, it was a grey China. In 1991, it was a very, very colorful China.
Returning to Nepal, he saw the barefoot doctor model as a solution to Nepal's rural health problems and set about training villagers in simple medical practice.
If a simple villager can be taught to become a barefoot doctor, and I have seen barefoot doctors doing operations, if that can be done in China, why not in Nepal?
He quickly realized that the next big hurdle was supporting the barefoot doctors he had trained, some of whom were operating many days' walk from the nearest road, and he looked to new technology. The 10-year civil war in Nepal made those developments almost impossible. But after a peace was reached, he set about creating a telemedicine network where the barefoot doctors could refer patients to specialists in Kathmandu. Every morning at 8:30, Dhital turns on his computer and, along with other specialists from the hospital, listens to cases referred by barefoot doctors from around the country. It has been an enormously successful experiment, and the model is being duplicated in other developing countries.
If you look at the whole history, I think that whatever I am doing in telemedicine also can be traced back to my experience with the barefoot doctors in China.